Friday film review.
Yes, that's right, it is Friday Reviews, and today I'm going to be talking about A Little Chaos, which is a new film directed by Alan Rickman. It's starring Alan Rickman and it also has Kate Winslet in and a selection of other people who you probably might know as well. Now, I had been quite excited about this movie because it is set in Versailles. Well, kind of. It's during the process of it kind of being built and the gardens being built and all stuff like that. And then recently, earlier on in the year, I went to Versailles and it was fantastic and beautiful. I didn't really get to see too much of the gardens because on the day that I went it was February, so it was a really foggy day. So you really couldn't see, like if you stood here you couldn't see very far ahead because the fog was so thick. So I didn't really get to see the gardens. They didn't look, you know, as fantastic as they would during the spring and summer in the fog. It was just kind of, you couldn't see much. So I didn't get to see too much of them, but it's definitely something I want to go back and see at some point in life, you know, have a look around the gardens properly. But yeah, so I was really kind of excited about this one, and I do really like Kate Winslet, and so I was looking forward to it. However, after watching it, I kind of feel like it didn't focus on as much as what I thought it was going to focus on, which was more of the gardens and I don't know what I thought it was going to be. I just thought, you know, it was going to be more about that and the building of these fantastic gardens. However, it kind of, it was and it wasn't. I feel like, I will say this now, I did start to kind of pander off during this movie. It's 2 hours long, well, just short of it, it's like an hour and 50 something. And throughout the movie, I'd kind of watch a bit and then I'd maybe pause it and do something else and then pause it, do something else. And so I kind of felt like I didn't give it my full attention. But that's because it didn't really grab my full attention, which is a shame because I was really looking forward to it and I really wanted to like this movie. And I did enjoy it, I liked it, but I just didn't, it didn't capture me as much as I wanted it to. There was definitely parts that I found not to be very interesting. For example, Kate Winslet is kind of a outsider in the society, I suppose you'd say, who basically she has been selected to design a part of the gardens by this famous architect, this guy here, whose real name I've forgotten. It's on the back here, but I probably can't pronounce it anyway. So we'll just go that he's this guy. He's a famous architect, and he's been, you know, doing plenty of things, and he's hiring someone to do a part of the gardens, and he picks her, which is rare because she's a woman, and all these other men are there for the interview, and you know she gets chosen, and she has that job to do. But then, you know, she kind of gets caught up in the society of, you know, princesses and rich people who are, you know, that kind of society, and it's kind of a lot about that and this society that they're in, and this guy and the romance between the two of them and all the affairs that go on and all these people. There's lots and lots of people in the movie, and I kind of had a hard time keeping track of who is who, especially because in historical terms I'm not too familiar with this, you know, time period. It's King, I don't actually know the number, King Louis the XIV. Now I don't know what that number is in Roman numerals right now, but obviously I know more about King Louis the XVI. Not the way I should say that, I should be able to figure it out, but I can't think right now. Anyway, so it's, you know, more around that time period. And yeah, so it wasn't really something I knew too much about, and then, you know, it is about him as well, the king, and that's played by Alan Rickman, by the way. And so I just kind of found myself a little bit disappointed in it wasn't as, I don't know, I was expecting something really fantastic with these gardens, and I really did like the end result. It was brilliant, it was fantastic, but it just didn't, it kind of was off on different points all the time, and I found that a little bit, usually sometimes that can keep you going in a film, but I found in this instance it didn't. You know, there was the society side and then the royal problems and then her life. She has had a lot going on in her life. I actually found her story very interesting, I liked that, I'm glad they kept that, but then the romance thing I wasn't really interested in, which is weird because I usually like a good romance in a movie. This romance was like, and like I say, I kept kind of almost drifting out of the movie and trying to find myself back in it. I'm like, okay, I need to watch this movie, and that was a little bit disappointing for me, so I probably will watch it again in the future. Maybe I just wasn't in the right mindset. So overall I would give the movie 3 stars, because I did like it, I just wasn't caught up in it. The costumes were fantastic, the sets were fantastic, you know, the end of the gardens looked brilliant, and there was definitely a lot of things that I did like about it. It just didn't really blow me away. So overall, you know, I'd give it a 3, but yeah. I do think, however, if you do enjoy period dramas and that kind of thing, and you love the look of films, you know, the cinematography, the costumes, and all stuff like that, you might enjoy this one. And, you know, it's not an awful film, it's definitely worth giving a go, and it's, you know, I give it a 3. It was kind of there in the middle, but I wish it could have been more. I think just I had maybe too high expectations for it and was expecting something different. So definitely go into this one expecting what it is, not like me, because I don't really watch the trailers for many things, and I just go in, jump in, and I'm expecting something that it's not. So yeah, it's definitely more, it's not solely about the gardens. It is about the gardens, but it's about a lot more, and the relationships between a lot of different people and stuff. So definitely bear that in mind. Let me know though if you have seen A Little Chaos. I'd definitely be interested in your opinion. For me personally, I didn't love it. A little bit disappointed, but that's okay. That happens sometimes. Yes, let me know if you've seen this one. Thumbs up if you enjoyed these Friday reviews, and I'll see you guys next time. Thank you for watching. Goodbye!